Hi, my name is David. I'm going to walk you through how I solved the CSWA practice problem 5.8. Alright, so here we've got the isometric view. It looks like on the left side right here is where the origin is going to be, so we're going to actually start with this sketch here. So we're going to draw this little rectangular prism first, and then we're going to make a reference plane that goes down in this angle so we can draw this shape here. It's kind of like a rectangle with a little semicircle added to it, a little hole cut out. And then we're going to work on this little part right here. Same kind of shape, but off at a weird angle. All right, so let's first off start with this guy. So that looks like it's going to be from the top plane, looking down. And I'm not exactly sure the best way to go about doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a center line that goes over a certain distance, and then draw around this center line, a rectangle. There are probably better ways of doing this, but the main thing is I want this rectangle to be symmetric about the origin, about at least this axis of the origin. So what I can do to do that is click on this top line, the middle center line, and the bottom one, holding down Shift, clicking each one, and then click Symmetric. So that way it's going to be equal distant from the center line out to those two lines. And so the rectangle will be symmetric about here. Now, I'm not actually sure. Let's see. So let's go ahead and dimension this. We might have to lock it down in a little bit, but okay, what do we have here? Oh, this is 77, and then from here to here looks like it's oh wait, shoot, that should have been 77. Okay, and then this one is less than 77. It is 60. There we go. Okay, oh, fully defined. Okay, good. So if it's not, you just might have to set up the relations a little bit better. I started this center line off from the origin, so it kind of got locked down. It's coincident to the origin, this left side of the center line. And it's horizontal, so that really defines that once you smart dimension it. And so it looks like this rectangle is locked down. So we'll go ahead and extrude it up a distance of 13 millimeters. That's how thick that should be. All right, so there we have that first rectangular prism. So then we're going to create this little offshoot down here. And to do that, we need to get a reference plane that is going to be 150 degrees from this plane down here. So to create the reference plane, I'm going to be using the bottom face of this rectangular prism. And then I'm going to choose the top line right here because I want it to swivel about that line. And I'm going to actually be drawing on this face right here. Now, it's still 150 degrees to this line because this line is parallel to this bottom line that represents this bottom face here. So, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to select the bottom face and then this line right here, which is right over here in this view. Okay, let's give that a try. So reference geometry, going to create a plane with this bottom plane and this line here. And I want to create one that is at a certain angle, 150 degrees. And now it looks like it's doing the 150 degrees from like basically here up to there. But I want it to do it the other way around from here down to there. So I'm going to flip the offset, and that should be correct. So if I extended this plane out, the angle between those planes would be 150 degrees. All right, so go ahead and create that plane, and now we can start drawing on it. Click on it, click Sketch, and this was the edge that I wanted to draw off of right here. If you look at it, that's the top edge. So let me go back to being normal. All right, so we're going to draw using the line tool from here straight down. And then my new favorite shortcut here is when you're in the middle of a line tool, you can either go out and then back into this vertex to switch to an arc. But if you hit the A key, because my hand's always like on the keyboard, left hand is always on the keyboard. If you hit the A key, it switches between arc and line. So that's kind of nice. and I want to do this arc right here. It doesn't lock over on this side, but that's okay. We'll fix that out. Fix that in a moment. So I'll just click somewhere over there, click into this point, and then back over. So now we've got the region closed off, but you'll notice that there's not a tangency here. So we'll left click on the point that connects the arc and the line, and then a little pop-up comes up here where we can click Make Tangent. So that makes that relation tangent. And then this one's at a wonky angle, so we're going to go ahead and click on it and make it vertical. Okay, one last thing to do is to get this distance correct. That's the straight line part of it before it starts turning in this arc. So that should be 50. So let's go ahead and make that 50. And we're fully defined. So we just have one more thing to do, which is to create a circle. And that circle has diameter 25. Okay, great. So we're going to take that region, we're going to extrude it down. Down, I told you. Okay. Switch the direction, so we're extruding down. Now we are extruding into this a little bit, but I think that's okay. Let's go ahead and hit the check because it's the same 13 millimeter thickness as this part. So it looks like it's doing its job here. All right, good. Okay, so we have one more part to make, which is that part that's sticking up over here. I'm going to go ahead and hide this plane because we don't really need this plane anymore. So click on it, hide it, get it out of the way. You just left click and then hit that eyeball looking thing. All right, so to get this little tab right here, it looks like we're going to need this line along the top of this surface here. So we're going to need this line basically right here. And I'm going to draw that as a center line and then draw the plane that goes through that line and is at an angle to this top plane. Because see, we have this angle of 75 degrees right here from this plane that we're going to create to this top plane here, which is right here. All right, so I'm actually going to create this center line also so that it's the correct length, which looks like it's going to be, where did it go? It's going to be, oh, here it is, 55. So that's going to be the length of that center line. And the center line is going to have an angle of 60 degrees, and it's going to be starting at 25 millimeters from this edge. Let's try to put all of that into play here. So I'm going to click on the top face, create a sketch, create a center line that's locked to this bottom edge, going off somewhere. Now the distance from this point to this edge is 25, as mentioned. And the angle from this center line to the bottom edge is 60. And even one step farther, this whole thing we're going to smart dimension to make sure you get we don't want the vertical distance, we want the whole length of that center line to be, what do we say, 55? Yeah, 55. Okay, great. So that's going to help us when we're drawing, once we have our reference plane, we're going to use that to help draw our shape. Okay, so reference geometry, we're going to create a plane that goes through that center line and is at an angle to this top plane here. And the angle is, oh, I did this problem before, so the angle is 75 degrees. And it looks like it's going in the right direction. Sometimes you might have to flip the offset, but in this case, it got it just right. All right, so that's going to be a 75 degree angle there. Hit enter to create the plane. Click on the plane, start drawing on it. And I'm going to create another one of those kinds of shapes. Hit A to switch to arc. And notice that it's got the right width already because we dimensioned that center line. Okay, now I've got to do a little bit of cleanup again. Make this tangent, make this vertical, and make this the right dimension. Looks like it is 32. and then also create a circle with diameter 25. Okay, fully defined, looking good. Let's do an extrude. And once again, we're going to be, okay, we're going in the wrong direction there. We want to be going down this way because, once again, we were starting at this line, so we want to be going in, extruding inward. And this one is only 10 millimeters, I believe. Yeah, 10 millimeters. Some of it goes into this solid, but that's okay. If it went a little too far into the solid, that might be a problem, and I don't know how we exactly fix that. Maybe just cut off the rest of it. But here, it just merges this solid with this bottom solid, and we're okay. All right, so here's our isometric view again. I'll go ahead and hide this plane too, just to make it look pretty. And we will check to see if we got the right answer. So here our volume is 132,174. 132,174. 132,174. 132,174 cubic millimeters. Well, I hope this video was helpful. If you're looking for something more professional, look for a YouTube channel called Design With Roozbe. This guy does an awesome job at breaking down each practice problem. Take care and keep studying.